Okay, welcome on, ladies. Today we're going to be talking about people pleasing. Love this topic. It's definitely been a skill that I have had to train within myself in noticing where I was people pleasing and how to honor myself and my needs in this world, let's say. And so if you have been prone to people pleasing behaviors, you might even not know you do it because it's become a part of your identity of who you are. You might not even know that it's a part of you. Or if you're further along in this self-discovery journey, you might notice where you people please, but you notice after it's happened, or even when it's happening, but you continue to do it. And so today, this video is not specifically around what people pleasing looks like, but more so about catching ourselves when we are in the moment with someone or our fair partner or whatever it may be, how to catch ourselves and make sure that our decisions are coming from a place of what is in alignment to us as opposed to what is right around catering for other people and their needs and what's going to land well for them and best for them. So today we're going to be discussing 4 questions that you can ask yourself to spot if you are making a decision from a place of self or making a decision that is based putting others' needs ahead of yours. This is coming from another video that I have created, which is called Overcoming Abandonment, 9 signs of what it is and how to stop doing it. So if you are abandoning self, we feel like we're losing a sense of ourself. And if you are in an affair relationship with a married man or someone that is already has commitments to someone else, you might have a really strong connection with this person. But the fear of stepping up for what you need in a relationship could come at the cost of losing their love. And so often we put aside our needs, abandon self, in order to keep the peace, to keep things flowing in the relationship. But over time, this does not fulfill us and keep us happy long term. So if that does resonate with you, then click the link below and you can go back to that video. But it's also important to watch this video in understanding, where do I people please and where do I lose that sense of self? And so that you can start to catch it in the moment of encounters with your affair partner or in encounters with other people, your boss, your workplace, all of that. Because if you can catch it, then you can begin to change it. If we don't know what we don't know, then we don't know we're doing it. But if we start to spot the signs of when we are doing it, then we can start to shift it. So knowledge is the first step to being able to change it. I just want to quickly go into what people pleasing is. People pleasing is where we lose that sense of self, where we have, you might notice this level of sameness that comes kind of like if we're ice creams, you are very vanilla and very adaptable to other flavors in the ice cream shop. You can kind of go with any other flavor and complement it. And if you're very complimenting to other people's personalities, then you might actually be complementing in a way that is pleasing to the dynamic and making it easy and making it flow, but not necessarily your natural self. And what came up for me when I started to notice this sense of sameness in myself, one thing was always, this question came up with playlists, like what's your favorite song? What's your favorite type of music and everything like that. And I always used to be like, I like everything. I like so many different songs and playlists. And this is still true. I do love a lot of different types of music. But what I noticed was I couldn't even connect to my favorite type of music because I was so stepping into the needs of what other people's music is and enjoying that music with them, as opposed to being like, this is my music and I love to play it and this is what makes me feel good in my home. When I was alone, I could connect to that side of self. But when I was out with others, I couldn't connect to that part of myself and say, this is my favorite flavor of music. And I didn't even know this was people pleasing. I just thought this was me lacking a really large genre of music, but it was more so that I actually couldn't connect to what really resonated with me and own that. And so this sense of sameness, if you notice that, be curious about it. Be curious, because as you develop your flavor, let's say you like heavy metal or something, and there's shame there around liking it because some people just don't like it. When you develop your own flavor of what you like, not everyone's going to like it. And this is one of the scary things when we begin to develop our own flavor and uniqueness, is that not everyone is going to fit in your box. And we do lose people, they do drop off. But the more that you can allow yourself to like heavy metal and it to not land with everyone and to just enjoy that, then the more that you can really honor and step into your full, vibrant, sunflower self, because you're really honoring who you are as a person. And it becomes more fun, because the more you are your own unique self and your own unique flavor, then people really are drawn to you in that way and can honor you. You draw in the people that love that kind of flavor, and it just feels so good. So that was a little kind of off subject on noticing where we start to people please and just become that same sense of self ongoing, that just neutral flavor that is very adaptive to everyone else. It's a beautiful quality, but we want to make sure we're looking at, where does this come at the cost of sense of self? You can be a very adaptive personality in general, but we want to work out, where is it coming at a cost to me and where is it not? And if it's been something that has been your personality throughout life, it's really challenging at first to notice, is this me, or have I just learned to live with this for my whole entire life because this has become a part of me from a wounded sense of self, as opposed to this is my pure personality that thrives in this way. So this is your own unique journey on unpacking more parts of yourself. The more you unpack, the more boxes you uncover about yourself and new perspectives and way of seeing things. That quite didn't fully make sense at the end there, but we'll just go with it. So let's go straight into questions to ask when you're in an encounter. The first question, is this really what I want? So am I doing this for me, or am I doing it for them? And one of the things that you can do is remove yourself from the experience mentally in your head and pretend you're talking to your best friend. Say this is about your affair partner. Pretend you're talking to your best friend around what you really want, and see if it's different to what you're communicating you're okay with to your affair partner. If you're talking, I know a lot of people aren't talking to their best friend about this. I just want you to imagine, and you might be, but if you're talking about this to your best friend, are you saying different things? And what happens if you say those things that you're saying to your best friend around, just really crave this? What if you actually stood up for that part of yourself in what you want to your affair partner? What would happen? Sometimes it's really scary and we do lose their love, or they become emotional, and we want to cater to their feelings and make sure we're not rocking the boat. And so we dilute our needs. We might communicate them, but we dilute them in order to keep the peace. So number one, is this what I really want? Am I doing it for them, or am I doing this for myself? Ask yourself these questions in every encounter. The next one is, what's important to me and what's important to them? Create a list mentally in your mind when doing this encounter, if it's with your affair partner, or if it's with your boss in the workplace, or if it's with your mom. Try to separate the two, because when we're people pleasing, we become enmeshed and we don't know what's us and what's them. We don't know what's our needs, what's their needs. So we're trying to create a separation between the two, so we're not so enmeshed. When we're enmeshed, we can't see outside of ourselves. We can't see what are our needs and what are theirs. So ask yourself, what is my desires and what is their desires? Keep them separate. When you separate them, you can really check into what your needs are and make sure you're honoring their needs whilst also seeing theirs, but not giving up parts of yourself in order to meet their needs over and above your own. The next one is, how will I feel after I make this decision? And one thing that I ask myself is, when you're checking into how you will feel after it, you can ask yourself, will I feel lighter? Like, oh, this feels so good. Or will I feel heavier? Like, I've just taken on the world. Will I feel lightness? Or will I feel darkness? Does it feel like I've just brought light into this situation, or do I feel the heaviness? So really notice how your body reacts when you make these decisions. For me, I struggled with energy challenges for so long, and it was often because I was catering to the needs of others, but without catering to myself. And so I would become tired and not even notice why I was becoming tired. And in short, I was not providing for my needs or acknowledging them. And I was acknowledging the world around me without actually providing for myself and feeding myself first. So that can also be a sign, like, do I get tired? Do I get headaches? Do I get sick? Do I get a sore throat? All of these things. Or do I actually feel like I could skip to work today? So notice those two things. Sometimes it's confusing. Do note that if you are catering for your needs at first, and then it makes, say, your affair partner uncomfortable, then it could make you feel heavier in a sense, because you've just created a situation that's heavy by you honoring your needs. So as you begin to stop people pleasing in this world and start honoring yourself, there will become a messy patch at first, where people that are used to living through taking advantage of your needs and you giving, like, having leaky boundaries, people that like live off that will become super uncomfortable and feel a sense of rejection when you do start honoring that. So that can weigh you down at first. It is a process that you need to move through. So when you are starting to honor your needs, you can ask, is this heaviness because of the heaviness in them that I'm feeling, or is it the heaviness in me because I haven't expressed my needs? So really start to notice the difference between the two, because there is a difference. And then the last one is, will this come at a cost to me? Does this cost me? I think that's fairly straightforward and simple. Does it come at a cost to me? If it does, then obviously you're attending to the needs of others above your own. And if this was a decision that didn't come to a cost of mine, let me reword that. If it didn't cost me, what would it look like? How would it look different? Look into that. Look into those loopholes and see, how would you show up differently if it was actually making you feel lighter? What would you express? So those are the 4 questions that you can ask yourself. Let me just quickly go over them again. Is this really what I want? What's important to me and what's important to them? How will I feel after I make this decision? And does this come as to me? It's really exciting when we do. My earphone is chatting to me. It's really exciting when we start to honor our own needs. Life just becomes colorful, and honestly, it all just starts falling into place in the most beautiful, beautiful ways, because when you be yourself, things just start coming for you. Know that it is completely possible to start honoring yourself. I leave you with that one. It helps. I hope it's been valuable. Bye for now, my love.